Yeah, we got a lot of knowledge I want to share with you here on this. This is about, somebody asked in a comment, is this about gray market Stihl chainsaws? And okay, yeah, basically it is. Somebody local to me is jealous. They reported to YouTube. Now these are authentic, 100% bona fide Stihl chainsaws, not one single part different. I'm the original owner on these. I also got a 66. It looks just as good. If I clean that up, that's not sun damage, that's just little dust. If I clean that up, that'll look brand new. I've used it for 20 years, gently, very carefully and gently. I'll use these gently and carefully once or twice a year, maybe just for kind of like fun and giggles. See if I can't have these the rest of my life and pass them on to some nephews or something. What am I getting at here? Let's talk about Chinese chainsaw. It's so funny in comments. People make comments and they just don't know what the hell they're talking about. They think they know what they're talking about, but they don't. There are hundreds, if not 200 something or more Chinese chainsaw factories on 660s alone. Now, they only make crankcases in 2 places until now, and I helped the third factory figure out what to do on their crankcases in the sense of, you know, maybe they were going to get them supplied versus whether they're going to develop them. I didn't help develop them, but I helped them figure out the Chinese market on crankcases. They didn't really know what was going on, and I told them there's only 2 places, and I told them one of the places, and that was kind of cool. What does that get you, a Happy Meal? Anyway, there's factories that make a lot of things, and one factory is Ogenus, and my buddy got the Ogenus factory going before they were a factory by selling saws to them. And then they grew and they became their own factory and they make their own stuff mostly. But most of these Chinese chainsaw factories get parts from various places. So there might be, let's say there's 4 or 5 or 10 or 20 major parts companies that make a lot of parts for chainsaws. There's various levels of quality. So there's some companies that only make parts. Then there's some companies that only assemble saws. Then there's very few companies that make nearly everything in the saw, but I don't think they're probably making their bar nuts or their bar studs, because, you know, it's hard to specialize in everything. But a lot of these molds, a lot of these individual factories, they'll spend $100,000 making their own molds so that they don't have to buy molds from other people, and so that they don't have to worry about quality, so they don't have to worry about colors. They could just add different colors to the mold. And it generally takes about 500 pieces to make your own custom color mold or to make your own brand or something like that. But it's like all this talk on YouTube, especially on my channel, all these people saying, oh, I'm getting saws from the same factory that makes Farmertec. Some of you all don't know what the hell you're talking about. You think you do, but you're making statements that seem like they're statements of fact, and they're statements of pure bullshit. It's kind of funny, and I'm going to call you out on it if you want to keep doing it. So, but you got free will. I mean, I'm going to delete some comments that seem to maybe hurt the message I'm trying to get across, or that are too controversial from my standpoint. I'm going to leave most comments up there. They're fun. And then the comment when I put the fuel on the air filter, I mean, you're acting like a Stihl should start the first time you start it. You don't know Stihls. These Stihls here, if there's no fuel on the line, it's going to take exactly like those copy saws. It's going to take 9 pulls if they don't have fuel in the line. If they're brand new, especially, but yeah, if they're hot and you've been running them, sure, you can get them cranked in 1 or 2 cranks. Sure, if they're hot with fuel in the line. But people, I don't know if they don't have ears and the auditory nerves or sense. I don't know, and I'm not slamming on people because I like comments and I want comments and I don't want to discourage anybody from commenting. But it's just funny, people's comments. It's just funny. It's kind of been pissing me off, but of course it's always better to be pissed off than pissed on. Let's get back to China. So there's hundreds of cylinder manufacturers, and highway cylinders are made in Taiwan. Taiwan is not the provincial part of China. And, you know, there's a lot of discussion, is it even part of China? Well, I'm not here to debate that, but highway cylinders are made on the island of Taiwan. And sure, they're good, but guess what? There's a bunch of other Chinese cylinder factories or chainsaw factories that are making unbelievable cylinders. So one particular chainsaw company I was getting things from, that unfortunately I can't get anything from them anymore because they've grown internationally too damn large. So they only got time to process 500 pieces of individual modules. So if I want to get 372 XP, which I trust their 372 XP, even though I haven't tested the only 2 I have, I trust them because I trust the factory in general. I know what they do and I know what they're capable of. I got to order 500 pieces. I've never been important enough. I used to be their only international customer. No shit. I literally was their only international customer that ordered more than 1 or 2 sample pieces. And it's kind of funny. I kind of got famous in the factory because of my orders. And they thought, long story short, but I can't get container loads of saws here without doing something really squirrely. And I'm not going to do anything really squirrely to get container loads of saws. What am I getting at here? We're running on 5 minutes. Ogenus, Austin, and what's the other company? Ogenus, Austin, and New Top. I need to get my hands on a New Top saw. My buddy Steve Schneider in Lakewood, Washington, old timer, got himself a saw shop, and he's gotten some saws from me. And he's got New Tops. I'm gonna put my hands on them and take a look at them, or get him to send me one. They've got something interesting going on, and I can't really talk about it right now because I don't have the details, and I don't want to say something wrong from speculation. But I think they got something really interesting about their 660s. And I'm going to check it out, and I'll report back to you when I find out about it. I sent a message to him, but I didn't get a response back. So Ogenus screwed me big time when I placed an order. Don't ever order from Ogenus. Their cylinders are fine. They make their own cylinders. They're fine. But they were buying ignition coils and starter assays from somebody. So they sent everything Ogenus sent me didn't work. It was a $5,000 or $7,000 order. It was one of my first chainsaw orders. I lost so much money refunding people and getting back their money or giving them a working saw. So my first order of $5,000 or $7,000 probably cost me $12,000 or $14,000. I mean, I had to drive across the state and help people. I wasn't going to let anybody get screwed over by Chinese chainsaws, and now I don't have to, because now I'm only handling from the factories that I know, love, and trust. And if they got something new coming out, I'm literally testing it, checking it out, making sure they don't have any flaws. I helped Noker improve their 381s, or at least I thought I did. Their carburetors were coming definitely not adjusted. I thought their carburetors were not fully adjustable, and I could never get them adjusted. It might have been a knowledge on my part, because it seemed like Brad and I got one rocking and rolling, but I didn't open it up and seeing if it was one I already changed or not. I changed half of them, and I thought we started one and it didn't fire up, and then we got it adjusted, so I don't know yet. It's hard to keep track of. So I helped. He did improve them. He said he improved them, and he says I guess they're dialing them in right, sending them out right. And I have one on the way to test. I have some 5800s on the way to test from my 2 factories that I enjoy dealing with that don't need me to order 500 pieces. I got a special project on 660s going on as well, my own special project. I try to provide things that you can't get on eBay and Amazon, because I can't compete with that. So why should I try? People make comments, oh, it's just a Farmertec factory saw. It may not have Farmertec, but he's getting them from the same places as Farmertec. That's some straight up bullshit. Let's talk about Farmertec. I deal with Farmertec quite regularly. Not super big orders. I'm not their biggest customer in the USA at all. I can't compete with their biggest customers because they are somehow getting shipping container loads. And like I told you a minute ago, that's a whole other can of worms that we're not going to get into right now, because I'm not going to be part of that. But Farmertec has done a really good job of marketing to the individuals around the world, especially in the United States. But they are not filling containers going to the jungles of South America and Indonesia and Vietnam and Russia. They're not the company that's supplying all of those places. They might supply the individuals in some of those places based on eBay's and Amazon, whatever internet access they've got to those, or Alibaba, for example. You can order your own saw off the internet or eBay or Alibaba. That's fine. You're definitely not going to get what I'm talking about. I've been doing this now 3 years, and I've lost a lot of money. I mean, a lot of money trying to find good saws. Finally, now I've got good saws that I know, love, and trust. And when I say I got saws that nobody else has, I mean, I do. I've got saws that nobody else has in the United States. I mean, they're going out in container loads around the world. But nobody in the United States is getting my saws. I got an agreement with these companies that if anybody from the United States calls them, that they'll traffic the call through me. And whoever in the United States wants to call them, they can, but they're going to have to get it from me if they want to buy it. I'm going to give you a good deal. We can get it shipped directly to your place, but you can also get them from me, and You're going to get the best that I could find, which is better than what's on eBay and Amazon right now, unless you got an original. These originals right here, I've now got saws that I would put up against these. My 880s come from Farmertec, but we went through them and we threw away 30 parts. I'm not going to get 80s again because I don't think 880 is the best saw for milling. People want them. I may get them again, but I still got about 10 left. So, I mean, they're hard to sell for me. I'm not selling them at the $5.99 price. You can get a blue saw $5.99 all day long, but it's not had the parts gone through. It's assembled by somebody that doesn't know what they're doing. Farmertec is not really a factory, but they do assemble. They may take a few pictures here and there and make it look like they're a manufacturing factory, which is cool. And they're good. You can deal with Farmertec. You're probably not going to go wrong most of the time. They got parts, I don't know that they've got their customer service up to what a United States citizen would expect. But that's my opinion, and I'm not slamming them because they're providing a valuable service to people around the nation, especially our nation, United States. I say our nation, but it's a world economy. Austin, I got screwed over by Austin. They lie on their statistics, on their power of their saws. I've called them out on their lies and basically got the salesperson to admit that I was correct. And I just said, you don't need to lie. You've got a really good product. It's 60 cc's. Why are you lying and saying it's 78? It's not 78. Everybody knows it's not 78. And I tried to tell her that I'm not going to order them because that sticker that they got on them, and you're charging too much for a 78 cc saw that's really 60. I mean, you need to knock some dollars off of it. And it's a good saw, and if you knock some dollars off of it, you'll have it priced right for what it is. And I probably can order more, but I'm not going to, sell it with a mark of a 78 cc saw when it's really only a 60 cc saw. I can't seem to make 58s too popular right now, but I'm about to maybe, because 5800s are incredible. It's a Komatsu design. They freaking are unreal. It's like I put a 5800 really well-made Komatsu Chinese saw up against a Stihl 362 any day. I mean, you're going to pay what, $800 for a Stihl 362 when I can sell you a Komatsu design saw for $300 and I can still make enough to buy a Happy Meal? And you could have a saw that with parts that will last you the rest of your life if you take care of it. And if you're professional, that'll definitely last you as long as a 362. I mean, yeah, it's a little bit different. Yeah, you're going to maybe have to change some parts. You might go through one or two more starter assays than you would. But if you take care of it and you teach your guys and your tree crew to, look, this is a nice saw, but it's none of this equipment should be used as a sledgehammer. Don't drop a tree on the shit. Don't throw it in the back of the truck, unsecure, where it could slide around and get banged up all day, and then, stuff's cracked, and you're, oh, look at this cheap Chinese crap. Well, I mean, you take care of your stuff, it'll take care of you. I don't want to ramble all day, but I wanted to tell you that a lot of people out there in YouTube world really don't know what the hell's going on, and I'm trying to tell you the truth, and you're actually commenting like I'm a liar. And that's cool. You could call me a straight up liar, but you need to certainly get your proof and your evidence. Like this one guy commented, these saws I had on there were made in Germany. And I thought he was just bullshitting, but he really thought they were real Stihls. So I commented back about him being silly, and then he's like, I don't know about you, but German Stihl saws are really made in Germany. And I'm like, oh shit, he wasn't being silly. He was really thinking these were Stihls. So I don't know, man. It's kind of funny. Please comment. Please definitely comment. And, if you got some bullshit, I might call you out on it. If I got some bullshit, you can call me out on it, but back it up, because the things I'm telling you are things that I'm finding out as fact. They're not just some things I'm making up. Like when I tell you I got the best 372s, that's my professional opinion, and I do know for a fact that the factory that I'm getting them from is not supplying anybody in the United States. Are some slipping through another buyer? There's a possibility, but they're not going to Farmertec. They're not going to Neotech. Neotech doesn't know anything about this factory, probably. What else? I haven't said too much, which is good. Oh, one of my factories supplied a government in an earlier version of this discussion that was right about the same length. I mentioned that the nation. One of my factories that supplies those orange saws supplied a government with 500 chainsaws. and they were 660s. They were freaking awesome. That's like, it's the best in the world. I'm telling you. I put my 660s up against this, as far as durability, as far as length of service, as far as power, as far as starting, as far as everything. But I may say that the starter assay may last possibly about probably maybe 100 pulls less, maybe 200 pulls. I don't know the life of how many pulls a starter assay, this right here, that starter assay, how many pulls will a starter assay last? I don't know. But my starter assays on this saw that I have may not be quite as perfect, but they're more perfect than anything else coming out of China. My 660s are freaking unreal. I don't care if you believe them or not. I don't care if I sell one or not. If you want one, let me know. I'll get you one. I could have them sent direct. Shipping 2 in a pack is best. I could get them shipped anywhere in the world. I don't make that much on them, but they're not that cheap. And I'm paying a decent amount for them, is what I'm saying. I'm not buying saws for $100. That's another thing that pisses me off. Somebody says, "Oh, he's getting them for $100." No, I'm not getting the saws for $100. That's asinine. Even Chinese money, it's not $100. Not my saws. Like I said, my saws are not coming to the United States. I spent a long time finding out about China, believe it or not. I don't care if you believe me or not. But if you're going to call me a liar, you better have some evidence, because I'm either going to call you out or I'm going to delete it. And I haven't deleted too many comments, but there's a few I have. I hope you've enjoyed this discussion, and like, subscribe, and share. And I've got a lot more coming up. I got a lot of testing coming up this summer. I got a very high need to use some of my saws, and I'm going to log out some hours. I'm going to test a lot of stuff. I'm going to test some 880s. I got an 880. I think we might have got it fixed a little bit. I have to test it. I'm going to run it. I'm going to run that saw. It got sent back to me. People didn't follow my directions. People want me to fix it. I stand behind everything that I sell, especially if you get a guarantee. Now, that person didn't pay the guarantee price, but I probably opened my mouth and said I'll guarantee it at the time, so I'm honoring it. But moving forward, I may just sell every saw with the guarantee and paperwork and at the guaranteed price. I don't know. It's a hobby for me. So if you want to make a new friend and get a reliable saw, let me know. Take care. Like, subscribe, share, thumbs up. Sorry for the ramble.